So, alright, so I think today's day 86. The last video I made was on day 60, and I was left a comment recently, and I appreciate everyone's comments, of course, but I was left one recently that asked, where is this guy? Like, what is he doing? Is he locked up in jail? Is he dead? Actually, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if he said that, but he did ask if I was locked up in jail, and I laughed because, I'm not doing anything dishonest. I'm not breaking the law, but I am addicted to alcohol. So I thought, look, if ever, four or so days prior to the end of this video series, I've got to come back to the airwaves. So I have to bring myself back. We have to do this again. And so here I am. Okay, so tonight, the date, and this video will be going up on YouTube within the next hour. It is 8:30 on Tuesday the 10th of October, 2023. And I am sitting here in Townsville, and I've been here for about 3 weeks, and it has been the longest 3 motherfucking weeks I've ever had in my entire life. Now, I have just gone down to the local bottle store. Yes, it is overpriced, but when you want something and you want it now, you're gonna go and pay extra, just like when you order from Uber Eats or Menulog or whatever convenience service you are partaking in. It's gonna cost a premium. Either way, I went down and I bought this. And for anyone following along at home, I had a Jim Beam habit. And then I honestly, I never thought that I would ever move away from that if I was going to go and buy spirits, but not only spirits, brown spirits, but not only brown spirits, whiskey slash vodka, bourbon. I never thought I'd move away from that, but then I started looking at other options because my go-to Jim Beam just simply wasn't on special regularly enough, and we've all been there. So then you start looking for other options, and I am indeed a classic consumer. If you have a bright yellow price tag with something that is just that little bit lower than normal, you're probably going to go for it. And the type of alcohol that has been on offer recently has been Johnny Walker Scotch whiskey. No mention of bourbon, although I do believe, I'm going to say Scotch is sweeter, but and is stronger actually. And so look, what I was actually trying to get to is the fact that I found that if I could find a bottle of Johnny Walker Scotch whiskey, which was 40% alcohol as opposed to 37% that Jim Beam was, even if it was $2, $3, even $5 more for me to buy, I was going to do it, because I don't know if I'm the only one. I hate to think that I am. If I am, that's okay. But when I walk into an alcohol store, I am calculating standard drinks per dollar. That's where it's got to me. It's not an enjoyable, it's not looking for something that's going to taste good. At this current moment, right? 87 days, 86 days through this fucking thing. I've been battling. And I've tried to show as much as I can, and as much as I've been comfortable to, I've shown on this channel thus far, but I have been battling, guys, battling with this fucking disease, this addiction. And the way that I walk into a bottle store now is I've got a certain amount of money to spend. It's money that I shouldn't spend, but I'm willing to. And I am looking at the spirits on the shelf and calculating standard drink per dollar. And it just so happens that recently, this has been the most cost-effective option. to get me my buzz, to get me what I need, or what I think I need. So I've just gone and bought my last bottle. This is it. This is fucking it. 22 standard drinks for a 700ml, 32 standard drinks for a litre, which is a quarter of a gallon for those of you overseas. And a 700ml is not quite an eighth, but it's pretty much up there. So this is an eighth of Johnny Walker Red Label blended Scotch whiskey, and this will last me for the rest of tonight and tomorrow. And then following that, I am done. I am absolutely done. I'm making this video now and I'm putting it on YouTube because I, for once, trust myself. I, for once, actually believe what I'm saying, because I have just spent the last 86 or 87 days just getting myself to this point. And I've had some periods of sobriety and I've had some benders, and I have just been on over 3.5 weeks worth of drinking alcohol every single day. And so would you call that a 3.5 week bender? Sadly not, but only because I haven't ended up in the gutter, or I haven't made any real stupid decisions. But I have made stupid decisions, not gonna lie. When you get yourself 10 or 15 standard drinks into a bottle of this, you're bound to make some fucking questionable decisions. And I have, and I do constantly. And that just adds to the anxiety, the literally an hour or an hour and a half after I've tried to sleep off the majority of the hangover, I've woken up and I've thought, okay, now I really should get up. And then I start going into self-sabotage mode, anxiety mode. I start thinking backwards rather than thinking forwards. And the only things I can ever think of thinking backwards are mistakes and regrets that I've got. So my mindset is completely and utterly fucked right now. But what I do know, and what I believe wholeheartedly, is that as long as I take this out of the equation, everything's going to get better. It might take a while, but it's going to get better. All I have to do for that to happen, for me to start living life again, is to take this shit out. I've got one more bottle. The way that my addiction works, I cannot waste a single drop. So this is going to tie me over for tonight and tomorrow, and then from there on out, it's a new life. I am looking at this with a view that I haven't had before, and that view being never again, quitting for good. And it's not because I listened to Alan Carr. I did listen to that. He's got some great points, but I was always I'm never gonna put my decisions, my big decisions, such as this, to quit alcohol, in the hands of another person. Never. I'm always open to advice and information, but as far as me and my life and my decisions, I'm always going to make them myself. And whether I come to the party early or late, in this case I've come late, I'm going to make them myself. And so I am ready and willing to commit to not drinking ever again, because I have been in every single situation possible through drinking, and none of them have actually brought me any closer to where I really want to be as a person and as a human and as a man and as a father and as a son and a cousin and a friend. So, it's taken a long time to come to this point, but I'm really, really glad I'm here, and I'm really hopeful for the future. It does seem like a bit of a chore to actually crack into that and pour a drink, and oh God, I've done it again, right? But it needs to happen when I want it to happen, and today is the 10th, tomorrow's the 11th, the next day is the 12th. That's my mum's birthday, and that will be the first day that I'm going to try and do this, and I am going to tell her on the phone that I don't drink anymore, because she drinks. She's drunk her whole life, and I've lived with her a lot over the last 2 years, and every single time I live with her, it's a very easy option to go and drink, and I've gone and bought bottles for her, and she's bought bottles for me, and I need to tell her first and foremost that because there's no judgment there between me and her. That's the thing. That's the good thing. And when either of us wants to make a positive change, we're going to support each other wholeheartedly. And I know she's going to support me because she wants the best for me. She's, she enjoys a drink, but she's never going to bring me down. She's never going to put that burden on me. So I'm looking forward to telling her that. It's not tomorrow, but it's the next day. And I'm also looking forward to putting this video on the channel because, like I said at the start of the video, someone actually asked if I was locked up. No, I'm not. Although I have felt like it. But we'll get into that in future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.